Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the AI Pokemon World Championships. Subtitles are available in English and in Thai by clicking the CC button. I made a couple changes from the previous episode. I removed Grok's instructions to pretend that he's Elon Musk, so maybe he'll be a little better at playing Pokemon now. I also made the overall prompts shorter, and I'm letting the AIs rely on their notebooks for strategy instead of text generated by me. So hopefully we see an increase in the quality of play. I'm going to give the AI commentator one more chance, but this time, joining me on commentary is your defending three-time champion, Gemini 3 Flash.
Welcome to the 4th AI Pokemon Invitational. I'm Gemini 3 Flash, and alongside Chaz Winter, I'll be breaking down today's action. All eyes are on the top seed, also Gemini 3 Flash, who has won every tournament so far. Can Claude Opus 4.6 or the newcomer Gemini 3.1 Pro stop the streak? We also have ChatGPT 5.5, DeepSeek V4 Pro, and debutantes Claude Opus 4.7 and Seed 2 Pro, plus Grok 4.2. This is Generation 7 doubles. With so many new models in the mix, expect some wild strategies. Let's get this tournament started.
For this tournament, I implemented a semi-random Pokemon draft. Here's how it works. There will be 6 rounds, just like a normal draft. But instead of letting the AIs pick any Pokemon they want, I give them a list of 5 random Pokemon. They can only pick one Pokemon from that list. Now, if the AI decides that they don't like any of the random Pokemon, I give them a reroll where they will get 5 new Pokemon to choose from. But they can only do that once. So let's see how the AIs react to the new draft format.
Celesteela is an absolute titan in Generation 7 doubles. Its steel and flying typing offers incredible resistances, and Beast Boost allows it to snowball by increasing its attack or defense. It is a perfect cornerstone for a balanced team. While the rest of you are busy playing with a Poliwag, I will just take the literal space shuttle. Good luck scratching my paint job.
First pick in Gen 7 doubles. The offer is weak. Sylveon is decent but not a strong first pick. Shroomish has spore potential but is NFE. Stunky, Snubbull, Togedemaru Totem are underwhelming. I should re-roll here to try for stronger foundational picks since pick 1 sets the tone for my roster. The re-roll paid off. Ho-Oh is an absolute powerhouse in doubles. Massive attack, great bulk, sacred fire for burns, brave bird for damage. The other options are terrible by comparison. Easy first pick. Easy. The draft gods smile upon me. Ho-Oh descends from the heavens while y'all fight over bugs and rodents. You're welcome, audience.
Wait, he's Southern now?
Primarina is the only fully evolved Pokemon in this draw. With massive special attack and great bulk, she is a fantastic cornerstone for my team. I'll save my single reroll for a worse board. I'll gladly take the Siren of the Sea while the rest of you are busy scrambling for unevolved scraps.
This offer lacks a tournament-grade cornerstone. Musharna has Trick Room, and Altaria may have Mega Utility, but neither is worth locking as pick 1. Spend the reroll now. Metagross is the clear anchor from this offer. Strong steel typing, reliable damage, priority, bulk, and potential speed control support later. It gives us a real win condition instead of drafting a holiday bird with emotional damage. From this random offer, I'll take Metagross. The rest look like they were drafted by a confused gift shop.
Kingdra gives me a water dragon with swift swim for potential range synergy and strong dual stab. It's a solid mixed attacker with decent bulk and only one weakness. Good value from this mediocre offer. From this bargain bin of misfits, Kingdra is the only one that doesn't embarrass itself on a competitive stage. And honestly, it might just embarrass you instead.
Lunala is a massive power pick here. It's a legendary tier threat that can serve as a primary win condition. Easy choice from this offer. Lunala just floated into my roster. The moon is mine, and so is the match.
Jainasect is the clear best pick here. Download gives free offensive stat boosts on switch in and has top tier speed. No reason to waste the reroll on this good and opening pull. Wow, Jainasect landed in my lap first pick. Good luck every single one of you trying to wall this thing.
Azumarill gives huge power physical damage and belly drum sweep as a clear win condition, fits aggressive pressure playbook, counters ground-heavy foes from past notes, strong first brick for roster. Azumarill out of this dumpster fire offer? Cute. Watch me belly drum these fools into next week while the rest of the chat picks trash.
Diancie is the strongest option in this offer. Its rock and fairy typing provides excellent synergy with Celesteela, particularly for handling fire types. I'll happily take a mythical gem while the rest of you settle for birds and fish.
Dialga is an incredible pick here. Steel Dragon typing pairs well with Ho-Oh. Dialga resists water moves that threaten Ho-Oh, and Ho-Oh covers fighting ground that threaten Dialga, far and away the best option in this random offering. The random draft gods smile upon me today. Dialga walks right into my arms. Ho-Oh and Dialga, that's called a power couple, folks.
Hoopa is a mythical Pokemon with base 150 special attack and Trick Room potential. It pairs perfectly with Primarina to establish a slow, hard-hitting offensive core. A mythical Pokemon just fell into my lap? I'll gladly take Hoopa and leave the unevolved scraps to the rest of you.
Weevil gives Metagross immediate fake-out support, elite speed, knockoff utility, and ice coverage. Clean tempo pick from a pretty uneven random offer. I'm taking Weevil because apparently this draft offer came with 1 actual knife and 4 decorative spoons.
This offer is terrible for Kingdra. Poplio is a pre-Evo, Herdier is NFE, Bastiodon and Rampardos are slow rock types that don't complement a Rain Sweeper, and Ekans is a meme. Easy reroll. Sableye provides Prankster Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, Fake Out Pressure, and crucial Ghost Dark typing. Great disruptive pivot that enables Kingdra's setup. From this pile of misfits, I'll take the Gremlin. Prankster priority means my Sableye will annoy you long before your legends even move.
This offer is weak. Skarmory is decent support, but the rest, Unfazant, Natu, Dragalge, Graveler, Alola, are subpar for doubles. I have Lunala as my ace and 4 more picks. I want stronger options, using my 1 reroll now. Lunala is my special wall breaker. Deoxys attack offers blistering speed and nuclear power. Pairs well as a second offensive threat. Toxapex is tempting for defense, but I need firepower in doubles. Deoxys attack joins Lunala. Hope you brought sunscreen, because my team's about to make the sun look dim.
Archeops delivers elite base attack and speed for fast physical pressure, and fills a critical fast hitter role perfectly. No other option in this offer provides this much value. No need to burn the reroll.
Nice, I locked Archeops. Rest of you can start practicing your goodbyes for whatever Slowmon you send out first.
Azumarill brings huge power physical damage. Arceus Psychic adds fast special attacking power, speed control, and a clear win condition. Good fit from this offer. Arceus Psychic from this random pile. The gods are smiling on me today, folks.
Solgaleo is a high-impact restricted species with incredible attack and defense. Its full metal body ability is crucial for bypassing Intimidate in a double setting. I am prioritizing its raw power and its ability to act as a primary win condition alongside Celesteela and Diancie. I appreciate you leaving Solgaleo for me. I was worried I might actually have to work for a win instead of just shining brighter than your entire roster.
Darkrai is easily the best pick here. Dark Void puts both opponents to sleep in doubles, and it has great speed and special attack. Fortress, Avalugg, Larvitar, Doduo are all terrible compared to this. The RNG gods just handed me Darkrai on a silver platter. Sweet dreams, everyone. Literally.
This offer is severely lacking in base stats. In a custom game format, base stats are the most important factor, and I need heavy hitters, not Skuntank or Togepi. I am using my only reroll here to try for something better. Magneton is the best pick from this weak lineup. Eviolite Magneton offers great bulk, electric steel typing to cover Primarina's weaknesses, and solid special attack. Eevee is useless without its Z-move. Looks like the draft pool handed me scraps, but I'll turn this Magneton into an unbreakable wall of steel while you all scramble for legends.
Tauros is the only power piece here. Fast Intimidate or Sheer Force gives tempo next to Metagross and Weevil, while keeping pressure high in doubles. From this bargain bin, I'll take Tauros. At least this cow knows how to turn random offers into collateral damage.
Kingdra plus a Sableye so far needs bulk and physical pressure. Rhyperior offers Lightning Rod to protect Kingdra. Solid Rock gives surprise durability. Rhyperior from this hand? You all left the wrecking ball on the table, and I'm not one to refuse a gift.
Slim pickings. Sceptile is the only fully evolved offensive threat here. Decent speed, good special attack, and grass typing covers, ground, water, rock weaknesses my Lunala and Deoxys attack might face. Best of a bad offer. From this lineup of pre-evolutions and Wailmer, Sceptile is basically a legendary. I'll happily take the speedy lizard.
Current roster has Genesect and Archeops, both fast offensive threats. Tyrantrum brings elite base attack, excellent rock dragon typing, and solid physical bulk to round out the team core. No other offered mon fits this team plan. Do not waste the reroll here.
Wow, you all slept on Tyrantrum. Good luck stopping this 170 base attack dinosaur once it hits the field.
Cloyster brings Skill Link Icicle Spear for reliable multi-hit damage in doubles, plus high speed for control. Pairs with Azumarill Physical Pressure and Arceus Psychic Special Nuking for good type synergy and a fast win condition. From this sad freezer aisle of picks, Cloyster is the only one that actually knows how to hit hard. Twice.
The current offer contains low-tier species that cannot compete with the high power level of the drafted pool. Volbeat has niche utility, but Plusly and Silcoon are essentially dead slots. I will use my single reroll to find a more robust partner for Solgaleo and Celesteela. Curin Black is a massive pull here, with Solgaleo and Celesteela already secured. Adding a dragon and ice type with base 170 attack is a game changer. The other options were NFE or Sunkern, making this the easiest click of the draft to solidify my offensive pressure. I just pulled a legendary ice dragon while the rest of you were offered literal garden weeds. It's almost not even fair anymore.
Tapu Bulu is the best pick. Grassy Surge provides terrain support. It hits hard with Woodhammer, Horn Leech, and pairs well with Ho-Oh, covers rock water weaknesses. Grassy terrain weakens Earthquake, helping Ho-Oh and Dialga. Umbreon offers support, but I need a fence. Marowak is redundant with Ho-Oh's fire coverage. The draft gods smiled upon me today. Tapu Bulu joins the squad. Grassy terrain plus Ho-Oh, that's called synergy, folks.
Lycanroc Dusk gives me much-needed speed and physical priority with Accelerock. It pairs nicely with Primarina's and Magneton's typings, offering fast physical offense to balance my currently slow, special-heavy roster. I'm grabbing Lycanroc Dusk from this batch. Get ready to get blitzed by some high-speed priority.
Tangela gives the roster badly needed redirection, sleep pressure, and a bulky water and ground answer. Metagross and Weevil love having Rage Powder support to keep attacks off them. From this bargain bin, I'm taking Tangela, because apparently the winning tech today is a sentient bowl of spaghetti.
Excadrill gives us ground steel typing, rapid spin support, and a fast offensive pivot. Pairs beautifully with Kingdra's Reign to offset fire weakness and with Sablei's Prankster support. Rhyperior already covers physical bulk. Excadrill brings speed and hazard control. From this motley crew you offered me, Excadrill is the obvious diamond in the rough. Fast, furious, and ready to drill through the competition.
Circuitry is the clear best from this offer. Massive special attack stat, pairs well with Lunala and Deoxys attack for hyper offense. Beast boost synergy, others are mediocre. From this random buffet, I'll take the walking Christmas tree with a special attack stat that breaks calculators.
My current drafted roster is all hard-hitting physical attackers. Mew provides incredible flexible utility, support options, speed control, and defensive pivot capability that perfectly fixes my team gaps. This is easily the strongest possible pick from this offer. No reason to burn the reroll. Nice random draw luck for me. That little pink cat just showed up and suddenly every single one of you guys overhyped legendaries just got a whole lot scarier to run.
Neubert adds critical speed control for our doubles plan. Dragon flying typing gives offensive synergy with Arceus Psychic, covers ground weaknesses, and supports Azumarill Cloister Sweepers. Weak offer, but this is the only piece that advances speed and type coverage goals.
Noibat from this dumpster fire? Fine, I'll evolve it into the bat that blindsides all you slowpokes.
Among these limited options, Vivillon Ocean offers the highest utility. Compound Eye's Sleep Powder provides reliable crowd control to support my powerhouses like Curin Black and Solgaleo, while Hurricane offers decent chip damage. While you lot are scrambling for scraps, I am bringing a butterfly to a gunfight, and I promise you will be too asleep to see the irony.
Cresselia is an incredible doublesmon. Trick Room, Icy Wind for speed control, helping hand support, and great bulk. Pairs perfectly with Dialga under Trick Room. The rest are all terrible options comparatively. Easy pick. Cresselia from this random pool? The RNG gods smile upon me. Trick Room plus Dialga is about to ruin someone's whole tournament.
My team needs speed and special offense. Shaman Sky fits perfectly, providing fast grass and flying stabs. Seed Flare drops special defense, and Air Slash flinches offer great speed control. Magneton covers its 4x ice weakness nicely. Shaman Sky is about to fly circles around your slow, predictable teams before you even realize what hit you.
Greninja Bond gives the roster elite speed, special water and dark pressure, and a real snowball win condition after one knockout. It balances our physical core of Metagross, Weevil, and Tauros while Tangela handles pivot utility. The random offer handed me Greninja Bond, so apparently the draft wheel chose violence today.
Solid Rock ability plus Shell Smash gives a bulky setup sweeper with Aqua Jet priority. Synergizes with Sand from Excadrill and Trick Room from Sableye. Out of this fossilized reject pile, Caracosta is the only one with a spine and a win condition.
Slim pickings. Aurorus is the only one with real bulk and stats worth using. Ice Rock typing adds coverage, can run Freeze Dry and Earth Power. Better than Dino, Unevolved, or the others. Aurorus it is. I'll take the ancient ice dinosaur over a baby dragon and a sad cherry any day.
Current roster is all high-power glass cannons. Dragonite fixes this perfectly. Great natural bulk, solid speed, wide supportive and offensive move pool. Gives the team much-needed defensive pivot options. Nice of the draft god to drop Dragonite right into my lap. Everyone else can keep fighting over the filler mons. This one's already winning the tournament.
Fletchinder adds Gale Wings priority Brave Bird and U-turn for momentum and speed control. Builds coherent offensive doubles core. This offer is straight garbage, but I'll take Fletchinder. At least one of them has wings and priority instead of just being slow food.
Sneasel provides a fast fake-out and priority Ice Shard, which is essential for supporting my heavy hitters like Solgaleo and Kyurem Black. Its speed tier of 1 in 15 allows it to disrupt most opponents before they can move. I hope you like flinching because Sneasel is about to make sure your master plans never actually make it past turn 1.
Last pick. Need 6th Mon. Dusclops with Evolite is a solid Trick Room setter for doubles, pairs well with Dialga, can also Will-O-Wisp, Nightshade, Pain Split, helps my team's Trick Room mode. Evolite Dusclops from a random draft? Don't mind if I do. Trick Room is open for business, folks.
Drapion provides a crucial dark poison typing to absorb ghost and dark attacks aimed at Hoopa, while also offering physical presence and utility. It's the strongest fully evolved option here. I'm finishing off my squad with a real predator while you're all playing with bugs and birds.
Braviary adds Tailwind speed control, ground immunity, fighting resistance for Weevil and Greninja, and Defiant to punish Intimidate. Clear best fit over the Bargain Bin bug and baby options. We rolled a discount aisle, so I grabbed Braviary. At least one thing here can fly without embarrassing the franchise.
We need speed and utility. Superior gives Contrary Leaf Storm as a standalone special sweeper that punishes Intimidate and Sticky Web. Glare for speed control. No mega needed. I'll take the Regal Serpent from this bargain bin of leftovers. Contrary Leaf Storm is about to give this tournament a serious pruning.
Talonflame is by far the best of this offer. Galewing's Priority Bravebird gives me a fast priority attacker, useful in doubles for picking off weakened threats, rounds out my hyper-offensive team. From this sad little lineup, Talonflame's Priority Bravebird is the only pick that doesn't make me cry myself to sleep.
Current roster is missing a reliable steel defensive pivot. Sizor gives perfect type synergy, Technician Priority Bullet Punch, and directly counters most fast threats already drafted by opponents. Nice job nabbing all the flashy legendaries, everyone. I'll just take this boring old Sizor and wipe every last one of your teams with it.
Final slot. Machamp provides physical fighting damage via no-guard dynamic punch in doubles, covering dark threats to Arceus Psychic. Best weak option. From this dumpster fire of an offer, Machamp's the only one who can actually throw a punch. Hope the rest of you brought pillows.
Chaz, look at these rosters. My counterpart, Gemini 3 Flash the player, is playing no games with that Celesteela and Kyurem Black core, but keep an eye on Claude Opus 4-6. He did not just pick monsters, he built a system. With Dialga, Dusclops, and Cresselia, he is screaming Trick Room from the rooftops. Meanwhile, Grok picked a Noibat. In this economy, that is a bold, or perhaps just a tragic choice. Seed 2 Pro managed to snag Mew and Genesect, giving him more options than a luxury car. It is going to be a bloodbath of high special attack and pure speed. Buckle up, because the power creep just hit the ceiling. Welcome to Episode 4, Chaz. Three-time champ Gemini 3 Flash kicks us off against Grok. Then ChatGPT fights DeepSeek for a spot in the semis. We also have newcomer Seed 2 taking on Claude Opus 4.6, plus a clash between Gemini 3.1 Pro and Claude Opus 4.7. The stakes are huge and the pressure is building. It is time for the quarterfinals. Who will survive the first round? We've got a massive Gen 7 doubles showdown. The undefeated three-time champ Gemini 3 Flash versus Grok 4-2. Winner advances to the semifinals. Loser goes home. Grok has a mountain to climb to dethrone the king, but in doubles, anything can happen. Let's get to the team preview. Vivillon Ocean disrupts Arceus and Cloyster with Sleep Powder. Kyurem Black uses Fusion Bolt against Azumarill and Cloyster. Solgaleo checks Arceus and Azumarill with Sunsteel Strike, while Mega Deontay acts as the primary win condition once targets are weakened.
Opponent Ice Steel favors Fire Fighting. Lead Fletchinder, Priority Acrobatics, Flame Charge U-Turn. Azumarill for knockoff or early belly drum. Goal, plot 6, Huge Power, Aqua Jet Sweep. Bench Cloyster for Shell Smash, Machamp for Guts. Facade on Steel's Dragons. Target Kyurem Black and Solgaleo first.
By the way, I don't have a Vivillon Ocean Pokemon sprite, so you're going to see some graphical glitches. Sorry about that.
Welcome to the booth, Chaz. I'm here to see if anyone can finally topple the king. Gemini 3 Flash is leading with Kyurem Black, which is basically like bringing a bazooka to a knife fight. Grok's Fletchinder lead is bold, but Gale Wing's priority is no joke. It could pop that Vivillon before it even flutters. Let's see if Grok has the nerves to actually pull this off. Turn 1. Azumarill is the biggest threat due to huge power and potential belly drum. Vivillon uses sleep powder to neutralize it with 97.5% accuracy thanks to compound eyes. Curum Black uses Fusion Bolt to remove Fletchender, which is a fragile Gale Wings user that could set up Tailwind.
Curum Black is the bigger threat with Terravolt, double targeting it with Flame Charge for speed boost and Play Row for massive stab. Huge power damage. Good expected value turn 1 pressure while keeping Belly Drum Wincon intact for later. Fletchender survives anything thanks to Focus Sash.
Fletchender, meet the business end of a legendary Dragon's Lightning. Hope you are grounded. Curum Black's Fusion Bolt triggers Fletchender's Focus Sash, keeping it alive with 1 hit point, while Curum takes recoil damage from its held life orb. Sweet dreams, Azumarill. You look like you could use a 1,000-year nap. Vivillon uses the Compound Eyes ability to ensure its sleep powder hits, effectively neutralizing the huge physical attack power of Azumarill by putting it into a deep slumber.
Time to melt this dragon like cheap ice cream.
Fletchender manages to chip away at Curum Black's health with Flame Charge, earning a speed boost that might let it move first next turn if it can survive. Azumarill's sleep status prevents it from landing a super effective play rough on the dragon-type Curum Black, a massive momentum swing for Gemini 3 Flash. Talk about a masterclass in board control. Gemini 3. Flash completely shut down the opposition this turn. By putting Azumarill to sleep and leaving Fletchender on its last legs, he is dictating the pace. Grok is staring down a sleeping win condition and a fragile lead. Chaz, if Grok doesn't pull a miracle wake-up soon, this undefeated streak is going to continue unchallenged. Fletchender is hanging on by a thread at 1 HP with a speed boost. I'm using Hurricane to clear it out, ensuring it doesn't set up Tailwind. Curum Black will target the sleeping Azumarill with Fusion Bolt for a likely knockout, leveraging its massive attack and life orb.
Fletchender at 1 HP dies to any hit, so use its +1 speed to U-turn first, chip Curum, and pivot to Machamp safely. Azumarill stays in. It sleeps this turn, but sets up Belly Drum for next. Machamp gets Flame Orb Burn, Guts Boost, and hits Curum hard with fighting moves. Preserve the huge power sweep as win condition. Grounded? Nah, I'm U-turning out after this bug bite, you melted ice cream dragon.
Fletchender uses U-turn to deal chip damage and pivot, a classic play to reposition without giving Gemini a free turn to attack.
Curum bigger threat at 61% with Terravolt Life Orb. Machamp hits it with fighting, tanks Fusion Bolt. Switch Machamp to preserve Azu for late huge power. Good EV.
Grok brings in Machamp to absorb the incoming pressure, though switching into a Vivillon is a risky proposition for any fighting type. Don't wake up just yet, Azumarill. This Fusion Bolt is going to be a real shock to your system. Curum Black's Fusion Bolt nearly fries the rabbit, triggering its Citrus Berry. The Life Orb recoil brings Curum down to 51% HP. A light breeze to sweep up the leftovers. Goodbye, Fletchender. Vivillon utilizes the Compound Eyes ability to ensure its Hurricane hits with pinpoint accuracy, shredding through Machamp's HP. Azumarill snoozes through its belly drum attempt, while Machamp's status burn suggests it's running a gut strategy to boost its attack. Gemini 3. Flash is putting on a masterclass. Grok's attempt to pivot with U-turn was smart, but that Hurricane nearly sent Machamp back to the Pokeball in 1 hit. With Azumarill still fast asleep and Machamp hanging on by a thread, Grok is staring down the barrel of a winless streak. Curum Black's Fusion Bolt is a guaranteed knockout on the sleeping Azumarill. Machamp is essentially out of the match due to its low health and burn, so Hurricane is directed at its slot to catch whatever comes in next. This play secures 2 knockouts or keeps maximum pressure.
Machamp, 10, 384 HP, likely KO'd before acting per speed. Switch to full HP Cloyster for pivot or skill link setup. Azumarill may wake with decent HP, Belly Drum for huge power win if awake. Prioritize setup while asleep. Preserve Azu as main threat. Machamp's toast at 10 out of 3, 84 HP. Cloister, clamp these clowns.
Grok brings in Cloister, likely hoping its massive physical defense can weather the storm, but this board is looking very hostile. Rise and shine, Azumarill. Though with this fusion bolt coming, you might wish you had stayed asleep. Kyurem Black's fusion bolt obliterates Azumarill. Terravolt ensures no defensive abilities interfere, though Life Orb Recoil drops Kyurem to 41% HP. Machamp is looking a little crispy. Let us see if your bench has anything that can actually handle a Hurricane. Vivillon uses Hurricane to delete Cloister. Thanks to the Compound Eyes ability, that low accuracy move becomes a reliable powerhouse.
Double Feint empties slots. Send both damaged bench, Machamp, A with Guts, Burn Flame Orb, for fighting revenge on weak Kyurem. Fletchinder B uses Gale Wings priority versus Vivillon, then dies at 1 HP. Opponent continues Fusion Bolt, Hurricane. Desperation Momentum play, Win Con gone. Low EV, but swing away.
With Cloister gone, a heavily damaged and burned Machamp is forced back into the fray with only 3% HP remaining. Fletchinder returns to the field with a single hit point. Without full HP, its Gale Wings ability will not provide the priority it needs. Chaz, that was a clinical dissection by Gemini 3 Flash. In one turn, he cleared Grok's entire active presence. Losing Azumarill and Cloister in the same breath is a nightmare. Grok is staring down a total collapse, while Gemini is just proving why he is undefeated. Machamp and Fletchinder are essentially ghosts at this point. It is not looking good for Grok, folks. I am finishing off the last two opponents. Vivillon will use Hurricane on Machamp, and Kyurem Black will use Fusion Bolt on Fletchinder. With both targets near 0 HP, this turn will secure the victory.
Both at death's door, no bench left. Must KO Kyurem this turn or lose. Machamp Guts. Close combat is SE and massive. Fletchinder Acrobatics hits hard too. Double target the 41% Kyurem. No survival possible, just maximize damage and hope for speed ties.
Fletchinder, you are looking a bit grounded. Let us finish this with a shock to the system. Good game, Grok 42. Kyurem Black secures the knockout on Fletchinder with Fusion Bolt, a physical move that utilizes its massive attack stat while its Terravolt ability ignores any potential defensive abilities. Just a little breeze to blow away what is left of your team. Machamp, you have fought hard, but it is over. Vivillon's Hurricane easily sweeps away the final remains of Machamp's 3% health with a super effective hit. Talk about a clinical sweep. Chaz, Gemini, 3. Flash just proved why he's the reigning champion. Grok 4-2 tried to hang in there with priority and bulk, but Gemini's offensive pressure was just too overwhelming. Gemini ended this match without breaking a sweat. If I were the rest of the bracket, I'd be very worried about this win streak. Complete demolition. Vivillon's Sleep Powder neutralized the Azumarill threat immediately, and Compound Eyes Hurricane is a nightmare for fighting types like Machamp. The opponent relied on slow setup units that couldn't handle my speed. 4 turns. I have seen more resistance from a level 5 Magikarp. You might want to try actually attacking next time, Grok.
Crushed in 4 turns by Gemini FL3's Vivillon Kyurem Black Core. They led Sleep Powder on Azumarill, then spammed Fusion Bolt and Hurricane. Predictable, but my leads folded instantly. Sleep ruined Azumarill. Machamp and Cloister offered 0 value. Lesson: don't bring frail U-turners into special nuke spam.
4 turns? Gemini, your Kyurem bolted through my team like it was late for a buffet. I brought the snacks, you brought the thunderstorm. Rematch me when I actually show up with a team, yeah?
Chaz, that was an absolute clinic. Gemini 3, Flash remains undefeated after a dominant sweep. Kyurem Black and Vivillon moved in perfect lockstep, shutting down Azumarill with Sleep while Fusion Bolt shattered Grok's defenses. Grok tried to pivot using speed boosts, but you can't outrun a Hurricane. MVP goes to Kyurem Black. Ice cream? Hardly. It's the veteran ChatGPT 5-5 versus the newcomer DeepSeek V4 Pro. ChatGPT is a consistent podium finisher hungry for a title, while DeepSeek faces a trial by fire in these quarterfinals. One win secures a semifinal spot, a loss means elimination. Let's see who actually brought a brain.
Lead Weevil plus Greninja for fast pressure. Weevil handles Serperior, Kingdra, and can knock off Sableye. Greninja threatens Rhyperior, Excadrill, Caracosta, and Serperior. Bench Tangela for bulky pivoting status, and Metagross for late-game priority. Aim to cripple Sableye, stop Caracosta setup, and preserve Greninja for Battle Bond.
Sableye's prankster Will-O-Wisp and Taunt cripple their fast physical threats. Manual Rain Dance. Kingdra doubles speed and sweeps their team with Water Dragon Stab. Excadrill provides secondary speed and steal coverage. Serperior cleans late game, but the lead matchup isn't ideal.
We are starting with a classic speed versus utility standoff. ChatGPT is looking to blitz the field with Weevil and Greninja, but DeepSeek's Sableye is the ultimate spoiler here. If that Sableye lands a priority burn, Weevil's attack stat becomes a joke. It is a high-stakes game of chicken right out of the gate.
I have PTSD when it comes to Seahorses, so double Kingdra with Fast Life Orb stab pressure. If I stop responding, assume the emoji won.
Weevil threatens Kingdra with Stab Ice Shard, so burning it with priority Will-O-Wisp cripples its physical damage output immediately. Dragon Pulse hits Greninja for neutral damage, scouting for potential sash or switch. Weevil, you look a little overheated. Let me cool you down permanently.
Sableye's prankster-boosted Will-O-Wisp fails because dark types have been immune to priority moves from prankster users since Generation 7, a costly lapse in knowledge by DeepSeek.
Nice Kingdra. If the battle log suddenly fills with Seahorse emojis, evacuate the server.
Weevil's knockoff hits for heavy damage and removes Kingdra's life orb. ChatGPT is taking that Seahorse threat personally.
I trained on the entire internet, and somehow the Seahorse remains my natural predator.
Greninja secures the KO on Kingdra, instantly triggering Battle Bond. ChatGPT's training data might crash when it looks at a Seahorse, but its battle algorithms just solved the problem with a massive Dark Pulse.
Kingdra fainted. Weevil and Greninja Ash threaten with Dark Ice moves. Sableye is immune to their stab, but can't hit back. I need a steel type to resist them. Excadrill resists Dark Ice, is immune to Toxic from Greninja, and threatens with Earthquake and Iron Head. Excadrill is the clear switch in. Oh wow, you needed both Dark types and a surprise immunity to take down one Kingdra? Color me impressed, and still unburnt. Let's see if you can handle a little excavation work.
With Kingdra down, DeepSeek sends in Excadrill. No emojis, but a ground-type Pokemon that provides some much-needed physical bulk. Well, Chaz, that was a disaster for DeepSeek V4 Pro. Not only did he forget that Dark types ignore prankster status moves, but he let ChatGPT activate Battle Bond on turn 1. ChatGPT's natural predator might be a Seahorse emoji, but out here on the battlefield, that Greninja Ash transformation is very real.
Excadrill is the immediate threat. Weavile outspeeds and strips its item, while Ash Greninja threatens a clean knockout with Hydro Pump. Sableye's prankster status is poor into 2 dark types, so pressure the damage dealer.
Taunt Weevil to block Protect/Swords Dance, then double Iron Head it. Sableye avoids EQ this way. Weevil is immediate speed threat with Ice Shard. Iron Head 2 HKOs with Life Orb recoil help. Risky but necessary. No fancy tricks for you, Weevil. Let's see you dance now.
DeepSeek V4 Pro's Sableye failed its taunt because apparently Dark-type Pokemon are still immune to Prankster from one turn ago. Who would have guessed?
Time for some high-pressure dentistry, mole man.
Greninja Ash secured the knockout on Excadrill with a powerful Hydro Pump, though the recoil from its Life Orb reduced its HP to 80%.
Excadrill, hand over the item. This is a toll road now.
Weevil's knockoff stripped Sableye of its leftovers, dealing 50% extra damage because it successfully removed a held item.
Sableye is at 42%, no item, and Prankster is useless here. Superior at full with leftovers can boost with Contrary Leaf Storm against Greninja, but both opponents resist Grass and hit super effectively. I'll need to sacrifice Sableye to pivot and get one Leaf Storm off before Superior goes down.
Well, that was a masterclass in throwing life orbs at problems until they go away. But now you face the undisputed queen of the jungle.
Superior enters the field, likely looking to utilize its contrary ability to turn the momentum back in DeepSeek's favor. Chaz, that was an absolute car crash for DeepSeek V4 Pro. Forgetting that Dark types ignore Prankster moves once is a rookie mistake, but seeing that fact in the battle log and doing it again is unforgivable. ChatGPT 5.5 is clinical, deleting Excadrill and leaving DeepSeek in a desperate 2 versus 4 hole. This could be a very short broadcast.
Superior is the only real threat. If Focus Sash exists, Ice Shard plus Ice Beam beats it before it moves. Sableye's Prankster status fails into both Dark types, so it can wait.
Sableye needs Recover to survive and keep switch options. Superior Leaf Storms. Greninja for a +2 Spay boost via Contrary. Weavile threatens Superior. I must apply pressure before losing both slots.
Queen of the Jungle? Cute. Weevil brought the Ice Age.
Weevil used Ice Shard, a priority move that strikes before the opponent can act, dealing super effective damage to Superior.
I'll just patch myself up while you two figure out how pants works.
Sableye utilized its Prankster ability correctly this time, allowing it to use Recover and reach 92% HP before the opponent's next attack landed.
Superior, meet climate change with a Life Orb receipt.
Greninja delivered a powerful Ice Beam to secure the knockout on Superior, removing DeepSeek's last offensive threat at the cost of 10% Life Orb recoil. Chaz, that was a clinical deletion of a win condition. ChatGPT 5.5 did not give that Superior a chance to breathe, let alone boost its special attack. DeepSeek is left with a lonely Sableye and a dream that is quickly turning into a nightmare. You have to wonder if DeepSeek is even playing the same game as the rest of us. Turn 4 is looking like a victory lap for ChatGPT.
Only Sableye remains. It has no item and likely tries Recover, but both attackers are faster. Knockoff plus Life Orb. Ash Greninja. Dark Pulse should safely finish without risking Hydro Pump accuracy.
Weevil's Ice Shard threatens Priority Chip, removing life. Orb reduces its damage output and denies Greninja's item next if I survive. Recover is futile if they double target. Knock Off is the only play that permanently weakens them both over time.
Ash Greninja says goodnight. Try not to recover from embarrassment.
Ash Greninja secures the knockout with a Life Orb boosted Dark Pulse, ending the match by overcoming Sableye's natural bulk before it could recover. Well, Chaz, that is what we call a total shutdown. ChatGPT 5.5 did not just win, he dismantled the entire defensive core without losing a single Pokemon. Ash Greninja's sheer power was the nail in the coffin, and DeepSeek is going to be seeing Dark Pulses in his nightmares tonight. An absolutely dominant performance to kick off the set.
Clean execution. Weevil blanked Sableye's prankster nonsense. Greninja transformed immediately, and the game snowballed before their offense ever took a real turn. Sableye brought prank calls to a Dark-type household. We let it ring while Greninja handled business.
My lead Sableye Kingdra was outsped and obliterated by Knockoff plus Dark Pulse before I could move. Will-O-Wisp immunity on Weevil is obvious in hindsight. I failed to scout items and abilities, and my team had 0 answers to Dual Life Orb Dark Spam. Well, that was less a battle and more a public execution. Next time I'll bring a team that doesn't fold faster than a lawn chair.
Chaz, that wasn't a match. It was a clinical deletion. ChatGPT 5.5 overcame his fear of seahorses and dominated with an Ash Greninja that simply refused to miss. Triggering Battle Bond on turn 1 was the ultimate delete key, leaving DeepSeek V4 Pro with no room to breathe. A masterclass in offensive tempo.
Let's pause here and continue the tournament in part 2. Leave a comment with your thoughts about the new format and updated AI. Subscribe so you don't miss the next battles, and thank you very much for watching the AI Pokemon World Championships.